His mom said I'd ruin his life. The first time I met her, she didn't even look me in the eye. She stood there on the front porch with her arms crossed, her lips pressed together like she was holding back a lecture she'd been waiting to give. Her eyes flicked over my jeans, my hoodie, and my chipped nail polish like they were a warning sign flashing in red. "Is this her?" she asked, turning to Liam. He gave me a small, nervous smile and nodded. "Yeah. Mom, this is Harper." I held out my hand, trying to be polite. "It's nice to meet you, Mrs. Whitaker." She didn't take my hand. She looked at it like I was offering her a dirty dish rag. "You're late," she said. We weren't. We were exactly on time. That day set the tone for everything that followed. Liam's mother was the kind of woman who ran her house like a business. Dinner at 6 sharp, coasters under every glass, not a single speck of dust on any surface. Her house smelled like lemon polish and cold judgment. Liam was her only child, her golden boy. He got straight A's, made varsity soccer in high school, and got into a top university on a scholarship. She had a plan for his life, a very specific, tightly wound plan, and I was not in it. We met sophomore year of college. I was in graphic design, and he was pre-law. We bumped into each other during a campus volunteer event where I spilled paint on his shoes. He laughed instead of yelling, and I knew right away he wasn't like most people. He liked the way I saw the world. I liked the way he made me feel like I wasn't too much. We started spending all our time together. He brought me coffee when I pulled all-nighters, and I helped him with mock trial prep. He said I made him feel alive, like he could breathe again after years of being told what he had to be. But his mom never saw it that way. "She's distracting you," she said over the phone once. I heard her through the speaker. "You used to care about your future." "I still do," Liam said, his voice tense. "Then why are your grades slipping? Why are you spending time with a girl who wears combat boots to family dinners?" I was sitting right next to him. After he hung up, I asked if he wanted me to back off. He looked at me like I was crazy. "No," he said. "She's always like this. You're the best thing that's happened to me." Still, her words stuck to me like wet leaves on a rainy day. I tried. I really did. I wore nice sweaters when we visited. I brought her homemade bread. I asked about her garden. Nothing worked. Then came the holiday from hell, Christmas at the Whitakers. She set the table with fine china and placed cards with everyone's name. I didn't have one. She told me to sit at the end. The seat was half a foot lower than the others. I felt like I was in a high chair at the kids' table. Midway through dinner, she turned to Liam and said, "You know, I ran into your old classmate Sarah the other day. She just got accepted into Harvard Law." Liam nodded politely. "That's great for her." She always had her head on straight, smart girl, and polite. "Didn't she have a little crush on you?" I wanted to disappear. After dessert, I went outside to get some air. The cold bit at my cheeks, and I tried to swallow the lump in my throat. Liam came out a few minutes later, wrapping his coat around my shoulders. "I'm sorry," he said. "You don't have to apologize for her." "No," he said, pulling me close. "But I hate what she does to you." "She thinks I'll ruin your life," I whispered. "She doesn't know what she's talking about." But deep down, I wondered, was I really what he needed? He had a path laid out. Law school, big firm, suit and tie. I was barely keeping up with freelance gigs and design commissions. One night, months later, we had our first real fight. He came home late from a networking event, his tie askew, the stress in his eyes showing before he even said a word. "I got an offer," he said, dropping a folder on the table. I opened it. A firm in D.C., big name, big future, thousands of miles away. My heart sank. "You'd be amazing there," I said quietly. He looked at me. "But it means moving, starting over." "I can't just pick up and go," I said. "My clients, my projects, they're all here." He sat down, rubbing his temples. "This is the kind of opportunity people dream about." "I know." Silence stretched between us. Then he said it. Maybe we need to think about what's next, for real." And just like that, everything cracked. We didn't break up that night. But something changed. We stopped finishing each other's sentences. Stopped staying up talking. The easy laughter faded, replaced by quiet tension and unspoken questions. A week before he was supposed to leave, I found a note in my sketchbook. It said, "I don't want a life that doesn't include you, but I don't want you to give up your dreams either." "What do we do, Harper?" I cried for an hour. Then I packed a bag and drove to his apartment. When he opened the door, he looked surprised. I don't have the answers, I told him. But I want to find them with you, even if it's messy, even if we don't know what happens next. He pulled me in without saying a word. In the end, he didn't take the job. He chose a smaller firm closer to home. Not because of me, he said that over and over, but because he realized he didn't want the version of success his mom had built for him. He wanted something real, something of his own making. We moved in together 6 months later. Our apartment had leaky pipes and peeling paint, but it was filled with warmth and late-night takeout and dreams we were still figuring out. His mom didn't come to the housewarming. She sent a card with a single line, "You're making a mistake." We framed it and put it on the fridge. Years passed. Liam built a career that made him proud. Not flashy, not headline-making, but meaningful. I grew my design studio from a side hustle into something real. We didn't have everything figured out, but we built it together. One night, after a long day, we were sitting on the couch watching a movie when his phone rang. It was the hospital. His mom had suffered a minor stroke. We drove to the hospital in silence. She was lying in bed, pale and smaller than I remembered. When she saw Liam, she tried to sit up. I waited by the door, unsure if I should come closer. Then she looked at me. "You're still here," I nodded. "Yeah, still here." She didn't smile, but her voice was softer. "I thought you'd leave. Thought you'd give up." "I thought about it," I admitted. Liam reached for my hand, but she didn't. His mother looked between us. I was wrong. I almost didn't believe it, but she said it again. I was wrong. We didn't become best friends. We didn't have weekly dinners or shopping dates, but we made peace. Years later at our wedding, small, in a park with fairy lights strung in the trees, she sat in the front row. She even clapped. Now, every so often, I catch her looking at me during family gatherings, not with scorn or suspicion, but with something like quiet acceptance. And sometimes I remember that day on her porch, the way her eyes cut through me like I was nothing more than a detour on her son's perfect map. She said I'd ruin his life. But she never understood that love doesn't ruin you. Real love rebuilds you. And together, we built a life far better than any plan she ever had.